everyone. We are here for the fifth episode of EngBioTech on International Women in Engineering Day. It's a fantastic initiative brought about by the Women's Engineering Society. It's actually in the 13th year for International Women in Engineering Day, and the theme this year being Engineered Intelligence. And the aim is actually to promote the amazing work that women engineers across the globe are doing. Now, according to the Women's Engineering Society, currently in the UK, only 16.9% of engineers are women. So here at EBIC, we want to do our bit to encourage more young women and girls to take up engineering as a career. Now, today we're going to explore how two brilliant women are shaping the future of engineering biology and turning complex research into real world solutions. Joining me are Dr. Kristell Pidou, Hub Manager and Research Fellow in Water Reuse, and Dr. Rachel Samson, Research Fellow in Molecular Bioaerosol Detection, and both based at Cranfield University. So, Kristell, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your role within EBIC?
Hi, sure. Yeah, my name is Kristell Pidou. I'm a research fellow here at Cranfield University. I studied chemical engineering in France before moving to the UK, where I completed my PhD at the Cranfield Water Science Institute several years ago. My research at the time focused on phosphorus removal and recovery from wastewater effluent through strobite crystallization. After this work, I held a variety of research roles across projects in the UK, France, and Australia on resource recovery, managed aquifer recharge, water governance, nutrients, and more specifically on water and wastewater recycling and reuse. Since 2024, alongside my other roles at the Cranfield Water Science Institute, I've been the manager of EBIC. So in this role, well, I coordinate the center's activity across our 10 partners university. My work ranges from supporting innovation activities to organizing workshop, training programs, calls for proposal, and as well as helping all our researchers, whether they are senior or early career, to connect with each other, with funder bodies as well, to connect with industry partners, and overall to develop wider collaboration opportunities.
Fantastic. Very busy.
Yes, indeed.
Very good. Thank you. And how about you, Rachel? What are you up to at the moment? And what's some of the work you've been doing with EBIC as well, specifically, if you can?
Yes. So thank you for giving me this opportunity, and it's lovely to be here. So I'm Dr. Rachel Samson, and I'm a research fellow in molecular bioaerosol detection at Cranfield University. And my work basically it sits at the interface of environmental microbiology, engineering biology, and water system sciences. So basically, I study microorganisms and viruses in the environmental systems, and particularly with water and air, and also use molecular tools to understand what they can tell us about environmental health, public health, and as well as the system performances. So, a lot of recent work of mine uses DNA sequencing using the next generation nanopore sequencing to study the microbial and viral communities. And especially, I'm interested that how we can move beyond simply detecting the microbes and start interpreting what those biological signals mean in the real world environments so that we can understand them and use them better. So, this sits within the EBIC, which strongly connects the idea of using engineering biology not just to understand the nature, but also to design smarter monitoring, detection, as well as response systems for environmental challenges.
Amazing. Thank you. So, obviously, you've both got incredible experience and knowledge in the fields as well. Would you mind? Could you share like a bit about your path into engineering? Sort of what drew you to the field originally, and then kind of how did it develop into more engineering biology?
Well, I can start if you want, Rachel. Well,
Yeah, so please
um,
go first.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've always been, as a kid, I think I've always been curious to understand how things were made and worked. At school, I always had like a preference for scientific topics. So that's where it all started, I think. And as I grew up, well, I had a role model, which was my sister. And my sister studied science at the postgraduate level. And so that was a great inspiration to me because it proved to me that girls in science and technology could actually make it. So it all started there. And from there, I think the rest has been a combination of like scientific interest, maybe connections and mentoring as well, really important. Also networking. Uh, and seizing opportunities when they came to me. So and perhaps as well a little bit of luck at times.
That's amazing. Thank you. It's really interesting actually because you do hear that a lot from people that when you see somebody else going for it, especially as women, you kind of, or when you're young, it does actually really help to inspire you, doesn't it? Which is what hopefully there'll be people listening to this that will also be like, okay,
Yeah,
this sounds
I hope
fantastic.
it
I
will
can do the
serve
same.
as an example.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
So how about you then, Rachel? You can share a bit more about your path in into where you are today?
Yeah. So basically, in my route to this engineering was like a more scenic route, we can say, with you know lot of uh, like degrees and meeting different people, guides, mentors, like some roundabouts. But at the end, it all makes sense. So basically, when I grew up, like watching my dad and my mom, basically, who so my dad is more into academia, and my mom always encouraged me, being in Indian Army, that no, you have to, like, as a woman, you have to grow, and you have to be independent in like thinking and doing, like, uh, advancing in science, basically. So, and it was incredible support from my PhD mentor, Professor Mahesh Tarni, who was like, no, you don't have to think small. Like, he was so supportive, especially to, like, to all the girl students, that he was like, no, women can do really great in science, and they have been excellent because they can handle stress really well. So yeah, and that's what helped me, studying like microbiology and environmental science, as my PhD was mostly in the microbiome of Ganges River, which is a glacier fed river. So it was all like voyaging into the different uh, like aspects of looking into its viruses, etc., which made me realize that biology is not just something that we observe in the environment, and it is more than something that we have to use it as a tool to solve the problems. And this is where engineering biology became very exciting for me, because it brings together biology, engineering, data, designing, and thinking as well. And not just asking like what microbes are there in the environment, but it's more like how we can use that biological information in order to make our systems safer, cleaner, and also like more resilient. So that for me was like a bridge between the microbiology and engineering.
That's brilliant. Thank you. So, for both of you now, what developments in engineering biology excite you the most, and how do you think they might impact the world?
So I'll start maybe with this one then. So what excites me the most about what we are doing at EBIC, and more generally engineering biology, is that potential it has to help addressing pollution challenges. And also, what I love about it is how it can help to turn actually waste into valuable resources. I think that linked back to my PhD studies, where I was trying to recover nutrients to generate fertilizers for agriculture, for example. And I always found that super interesting, like, closing the loop and moving to like more of a circular economy. So that's what I really like about engineering biology. If you think about it, on EBIC, we have, at the moment, for example, we have researchers who are using engineering biology to recover metals such as like silver, copper, cobalt from a variety of waste, and they are also now starting looking at recovering rare earth elements from waste. And how cool is that? I mean, using a waste to just recover some like metals that will be reused then for the fabrication of different products. I find this super cool.
Yeah.
And we also have, like, recently, we talked about it, but we have like people as well on EPIC who are like engineering biofilms that can actually specifically target hydrocarbons during oil spills, and this is, to me, fascinating. I love it. This is like using the property of microorganisms to target pollution challenges like that. I love it for that.
That's brilliant. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
very. Yeah, I that's the same to me. To be honest, that's one of the things that drew me to this role. I was like, this is amazing.
Yes, it's
What you're
fascinating,
able to
wasn't it?
do, yeah, is I could just sort of sit and read it all out all day. To
Yeah.
be honest, what you're all up to. And so, what about you, Rachel? What do you think is the most exciting part for engineering biology at the moment?
Yeah. So basically what excites me most is like moving from biology basically as an observation to more as an engineered solution, I would say. So because environmental systems like it is very important because as we are developing tools which can detect for me as like biological signals which are like faster and cheaper and more detailed, that is something that is more important. Now this is something, engineering biology was like in real time, if you can see, when the pandemic was hit. So what you can do, like the virus is there, but what actually was needed was like, oh no, you engineer something, you get that sensor so that there could be a rapid detection or something. So that's something, that you do the engineering which helps us to get the biosensors and synthetic biology things to help us faster detection of any contamination, say, or monitor the microbes uh, for better protection of public as well as environmental health. And the real impact which comes is like when these technologies they leave the lab and are, you know in hands of common man like you and me, like we can use this. Oh, it's a rapid detection kit, why not use it? So this is like when engineering biology becomes like more than like clever science and gets into the practical infrastructure. So this is something that really excites me a lot.
Absolutely, that sounds brilliant. I think it's as you say, it's kind of like seeing everything as it's happening, and the knowing that what you're doing, I suppose, is going to make an impact to the environment, to humans, to health. It's all kind of bigger picture, isn't it? Really,
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
tiny microbes,
Yeah.
tiny microorganisms make a big impact.
yeah, tiny but mighty.
Yes,
Exactly,
exactly.
that's what we say. Definitely. So, Kristell, as hub manager, looking
Yep.
ahead, where do you see EBIC's work and potentially like the UK's engineering biology landscape going in the next few years? And what role do you hope that our hub will play?
Well, that's a question.
Big question.
I think quite a big challenge here. Well, I think to be honest, the UK's engineering biology landscape is growing so quickly at the moment. So uh, if you look more specifically at EBIC's area of application, which is all about developing environmental solutions, we can see how the collaboration actually between academia and industry is playing a major role in this rapid growth. So our researchers, for example, are working closely with many industry partners, but also with regulatory bodies and policymakers. So it seems to be all happening at the same time at this stage. I think this is essential if actually engineering biology is to move away from the labs and to reach full scale application, which is ultimately what we want, and we want actually ultimately to deliver real world impact. So I think this collaboration is essential here. So I hope this will bring like engineering biology, sorry, forwards for the next few years. So yeah, as such, well, I hope HIWIC will continue to play a key role
Yeah,
in connecting researchers and supporting innovation as well. But I think most importantly, I think ensuring that the research our teams are carrying out translate into real world application again and impact is key. And I also hope that our work will actually continue to support, our early career researchers. I think this is a very important aspect of what we do at EBIC, and that they may become actually the future leaders in the sector.
yeah, we have an absolutely fantastic network as well as obviously
Definitely.
open with the industry as well as within the EBIC team and our early career researchers and everyone. So
Yeah.
it's exciting, really. I think there's going
It
to
is
be
very
a lot
exciting
of
to
very cool
see
stuff
the
coming up.
evolution as well, yeah,
Mm,
throughout, like,
yeah,
since the start actually of EBIC is amazing.
definitely. So kind of on that note, actually, Rachel, you won a Speedy Presentation Award at the ECR Network Symposium at Cranfield University. Congratulations. Um,
Yes.
can you give us any tips for our listeners about presenting your research at sort of these sort of kind of events and conferences?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So thank you very much. Actually, that was a lovely surprise for me as well. So basically, for a short presentation or a presentation, basically, I usually ask myself three questions. So first being like, what's the problem? What is actually the real world problem? The second is, why should anyone care about that problem? And the third is like, what is the one idea or like a key takeaway that I really want them to remember when they leave to hall? So that makes me create such slides and visuals, which helps to people to see the logic as it flows, and they also follow it easily. So other thing is that like when you have such speedy presentations or something, you really have to practice it out loud. Sometimes reading the slides or just going through it does not help a lot. It's like sometimes your brain lies to you, oh no, you'll be fine, but sometimes practicing it helps to the word flow easily, and also like using simple languages which help people understand. Like, say, for instance, in ECR network, you have people from different departments as well. So even they can connect to your science, like what you're doing. So in that way, how we can reach to a layman or a common person as well to understand our science better.
That's brilliant. Yeah, that makes so much
Yeah.
sense. And it's kind of similar in when you're trying to do sort of science comms and engagement and things, you've got to kind of consider the audience and try
Yeah.
and make a connection as well. So that's fantastic to know that's also a good
Yeah,
way to be doing presentations too.
yeah, it's true.
And so when we're kind of looking back to engineering, have either of you found there's a particular skill or way of thinking that kind of has really helped you succeed within engineering?
Yes, sure. Well, I'll start again. And so you will find me a bit repetitive, but for me, being curious is key to me. And it always has been. My advice to all young kids and particularly my kids is not to stick to what they learn only in the classroom, and to look around for other opportunities to learn. It can be books, and not only from, like, the library, the university library, but
Yeah.
books books from all different things, aspect on different topics. It could be conferences, it could be shows, it could even be museum. I mean, just last week, I went to the Natural History Museum with my younger daughter, and we spent an hour looking at their mineral collections. And you know what? What I discovered when I was there is, like, actually there was like something like showcasing the work that our colleagues from Elemental, the hub on engineering biology focusing on metals, a display from that hub there. So I had to explain to her what it was all about. It was about recovering copper and so on. So yeah, it was very interesting. We even spotted like a sample of strobite, which was what I was researching. Sorry, during my PhD. So it brought me to explain to her in a simple way what my PhD was all about. So yeah, who knows? Maybe that visit to the museum is like the start of a future career in in science or engineering. So yeah, be curious is always the key word for me.
That sounds fun. Yeah, be curious, take
Mm,
opportunities.
exactly,
It's always funny, isn't it, when you
exactly.
see, something to do with your work in the real world,
Yes,
like almost in the
definitely.
wild.
Yeah.
That's perfect. And how about you, Rachel?
So I would like to just extend like what Crystal said. I completely agree. Like curiosity is the key thing. It's like a fuel which drives the engine, basically. So
Mm,
curiosity will make a person to read about something more, to network more. So I personally feel that this is really important, basically, that networking and not just having things in isolation. Because if you see in the environment as well, the microbes, they don't stay in isolation, they always network and forms like biofilms, or like they communicate between themselves as well. So so this is more important for me, like having a knowledge of the systems, it helps me the most to like network or connect with people. Uh also like being comfortable with the uncertainty, because when we explore with like different people, our ideas or something, uh, it's like maybe some other department can help us in the applied way of it. Some can help us with the fundamentals and a fundamental understanding of a particular topic. So it's more like, oh, this is a consultant, because like, okay, this is also the aspect that we could think upon. And so this all things like it comes out of communication and not just staying in isolation but networking more. So yeah, that's exactly, I completely agree with Kristell what she said.
I like that. It's kind of almost like be more microbe. We all need each other.
Yeah, yeah, we need it, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
No, it does. It does make a lot of sense. And so, for both of you again, from your perspective, what do you think the biggest challenges women still face in engineering and even engineer biology today?
Well, I think actually progress has definitely been made. I mean, we do see a lot more women in the field than when I started my studies in chemical engineering. So I think there's progress being made, but maybe from personal experience, I would say maybe balancing career progression with personal responsibilities and family lives, that can remain quite difficult at times, I would say. So maybe like some room for improvement there, like to support women in engineering. And maybe as well, maybe we need, we talked about it a little bit earlier on, but maybe we need more role model to share their experience, not only at university level, but I think it should start earlier than that. It should start at school level. That's where, we always say that the kids are like sponges in terms of like information they receive and what they learn. So I think, yeah, starting at an early age is key to me. And if we could have like more women, sharing their experience in schools and at different outreach events for kids, I think, yeah, that would help as well promote what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes so much sense. I mean, I know with, with my, I've got a daughter, she's 5. And at the moment, we had some building work done and she was fascinated by watching them do everything. And now
Yes.
she's going to be a builder. She's like, that
Well,
is
you
the
see,
best part. Build
that's what I
houses.
mean. Yeah, you see, that's what I
You
mean.
see
And
it
I
and you
think,
kind of,
yeah,
you can envision it, can't you?
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely. So what about you, Rachel? What do you think some of the challenges are?
Well, like, sometimes it's the issue of like representation maybe across different career stages. And I completely agree with Crystal that uh, at a very young age, if you're supported enough, like you are encouraged enough, say even at like starting from the school itself, so that encouragement basically drives the like confidence in you, that you're confident enough to uh, put your skills further, put your ideas further, to communicate with people and to apply for different opportunities, to have technical discussions. And this confidence then further helps to like decision making roles as well. So I believe that, like, early encouragement
Mm.
would definitely be helpful for women to grow further in any field of science, basically.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's applicable, isn't it? Everyone. That's
Yes.
excellent. So if you could give like a bit of advice to young women aspiring to enter either engineering or eng bio today, what was your top advice be?
I think you will start to find me very boring, but my advice would be stay curious, be be confident as well, and look for opportunities. To learn more about careers in engineering, discuss with engineers, try to apply for internships, for example. You need to experience what it's like to make sure this is what you want. So yeah, stay curious.
Amazing. What about you, Rachel? What's your main bit of advice that you would give to young women who want to get into engineering or eng bio?
So it's again like the same thing. You stay curious, you stay like vigilant about the opportunities that you have, so that you're like, many opportunities, they can arrive like before you're fully prepared. So you do not wait always until like, oh, some right opportunity is gonna come or something, because this is something that's gonna help you to build your confidence as well. So yes, this is like, stay curious.
Yeah, exactly. And it sort of take any kind of opportunities, I guess, that come up. It just sort of it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Because I know a lot of the things that we come across sort of day to day in work, it's you start talking to somebody at a conference or something, and then you realize if
Exactly.
there's all these connections and potential work, and
Yeah.
so it makes so much sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, if we're looking ahead now, what changes would you like to see for women in engineering, and what legacy would you both like to leave? A tough one,
Oh,
sorry.
oh wow, yeah, it's exactly the same. That's a tough one. Well,
Yeah.
maybe simply like seeing more and more women in science and engineering at every level, from like a lab technician to a professor to leadership roles. I think
Mhm.
seeing more and more women in that field would be awesome. As for legacy, phew, that's the even tougher one. Well, I'd like to think I have inspired others to study science and engineering. Um, uh, I mean, I'd like as well to think I have supported, great advances to tackle environmental challenges, for example, and I'd like to think as well, or ultimately, that I showed kids, including mine, that working in science and engineering is actually cool.
Excellent. Yeah, that is very good. How about you, Rachel? What legacy do you want to leave?
Yeah. So basically, I would like to contribute or like my work to help people, which they can understand and make decisions well. And more than that, it's for the youngest researchers, especially women. It should not be like scientific career or something like is very serious. No, science can be fun as well with all the regular activities that you do. And it's more like a passionate person or ambitious person can also enjoy this thing. And I'm very sure like women are very good at leadership as well. So yeah, we can see like we usually tend to boss around a lot of like yeah, so why not like the same thing that we can continue in our science or like our day-to-day work as well. So in academia as well we can be the, oh yes, the boss lady. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, personally, for me, I've found that everyone, like with an EBIC, and especially, um, you know, being a mum and being a woman and coming into kind of this sort of area, everyone has been so supportive. And like the advice that you get and the kind of the network there, it's fantastic. So I think I would say to people as well, like don't worry and just do what you can, talk to people, and once you get a kind of a strong network behind you, that can make all the difference.
Yeah, totally agree on that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Need to be more confident as well. Sometimes we're a bit shy, if we think we don't know. Oh, I don't know about that. I won't ask. But actually, yeah, as I said, like, yeah, be curious, ask people. There's no good or bad questions. Just, yeah, try to
Mm,
meet people and discuss with
Yeah,
them.
absolutely. And I guess so
mm,
kind of our responsibility
mm.
within organizations is to try and make sure there are opportunities and that we approach people and say, look, why don't you do this? Your what research is really interesting. Come along and talk
Exactly.
about it. Do it. And so I think that's definitely probably something that is good for people to do as well. Is don't wait for people to approach. If you know they're doing something interesting, go to them.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. You'll be pleased to hear we're through the most of it. But before we finish, I do have some sort of fun quick fire questions for you both. It's nothing too serious. There's no wrong answers. Just the first thing that pops into your head, okay? Right, ready. Right. First off, if you could witness one scientific breakthrough in history firsthand, what would it be?
So for me, it would be the light bulb. I would have
Ah,
loved to see that. I mean, how could we survive without light? I mean, it's like, yeah, that would be awesome to me to have witnessed
that's
that.
I like that. That's very cool.
Ye- Yeah, so for me, it was like the DNA structure, which was just good because mostly I do sequencing, and I was like, oh, how can you know someone like what's there unless you read their DNA? So yeah, for
Mm.
me, mostly the structure of DNA would be a scientific breakthrough.
Excellent. Thank you. So, second one, what's the most unusual thing that you've ever used in an experiment?
Uh, for me, I think it must be a DIY metallic wear that I've designed myself
Oh,
to put inside the street manhole to estimate sewage flow rates. So yeah, I was in the street measuring flow rates in a sewage manhole. That was quite interesting.
I like that. Yeah, definitely.
Wow, very good. Yeah. So for me, most unusual thing was like looking into the bacteriophages, basically. Like how this tiny thing, and how am I supposed to actually get it, because you have the other microscopes and everything around in the lab, and you're like, okay, this is something I can have, but like in phage, oh, I don't even know what I'm looking at. How do I get it? So yeah.
That is perfect. And last one, you're stuck in a lab for 24 hours. What's your survival snack?
Well, Nicola, actually, we are not supposed to bring food in a lab, so I
Of
would
course,
probably
of
starve.
course.
But but if I sneaked in something, it would be surely a pack of M&Ms.
M&M's, good shout.
Yeah, for me, it's yeah, definitely a chocolate. So yeah, yeah, it helps a lot.
Yeah, that is, to be fair, that is a very good choice. So thank you both so much for your time today. I've really enjoyed learning more about your work and the journey where you've got to, where you both are today. It's been really fascinating, and it's been lovely to catch up and learn more. So thank you both so much.
Thank you very much,
And
Nicola.
Thank you,
thank you.
Nicola.
So, if you're interested, you can learn more about International Women in Engineering Day and access their resources and support via the Women's Engineering Society from their website, which is wes.org.uk. And I would strongly advise go and have a look on there, see what they've got on there, because as you've heard from our interviews today, network and support very important. And if learning about the exciting research going on at EBIC has caught your interest, you should absolutely join us at our conference this September in Southampton. It's called Engineering Biology for Environmental Solutions. Registration is open, so you can register now via ebicentre.co.uk. We would love to see you there and catch up and meet. Maybe share some eminence.
Yes, please. Bring some.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've really
Thank you
enjoyed
very much.
today. Thank
It's been
you.
great.